The DCEU and Warner Brothers Discovery are the underdogs compared to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Disney. There's no question of this, and there's no greater example of this than yesterday's announcement that Hugh Jackman would return as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. But when you look deeper at the Deadpool 3 Hugh Jackman Wolverine announcement, as exciting as it seems on the surface, there's some very, very uncomfortable truths behind the scenes at Deadpool 3. Basically, Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige do not get on. They have disagreements about this film on a daily basis. Kevin Feige didn't want an R-rated Deadpool film. He wanted a family-friendly one, and Ryan Reynolds fought for the integrity of this character. Ryan Reynolds was the one who's been fighting for a Deadpool movie for a very long time and got one. Now, the first Deadpool was really good. The second Deadpool was okay, but really it was also a very average film, although it did very well in the box office. And this announcement sounds very cheap and lazy. Now, sarcastically, because that's what Ryan does, he has this sarcastic persona, said he couldn't think of any ideas for the film, so he just screams over to Hugh Jackman, would you like to reprise your role as Wolverine one last time? Where Hugh says yes. Very funny, very good, very exciting for all the fans. Well, meanwhile, a few hours later, it was revealed that the Blade director has moved on and won't be directing the Blade movie, another very exciting project within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But they've lost their director. So while you're all fist bumping and saying this is the bestest thing ever, look at the DCEU, what have they got? Look at us, we're amazing. One journalist saying that the DC Extended Universe movies have been treading on a rake since Man of Steel. That's simply not true. Basically, the DC live-action universe since 2013 has given us great movies like Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Aquaman, Joker, The Batman, while the MCU has pretty much been a bag full of fresh air. The empty bag, as I call it. But anyway, you've got an exciting cameo, so you can pretend it's your franchise that's better than our franchise. If you want to compare the box office and the popularity, that's fine. I'm into good movies. I'm into good entertainment. It's quite obvious that Henry Cavill is returning to the DCEU as Superman. Looks like he's definitely going to appear in a post-credit scene for Black Adam. And now it's been revealed in the past couple of days that he will appear in The Flash, something he apparently shot back in 2021 and not recently. It looks like all the stuff we heard about him being replaced by Supergirl may not be exactly true. Well, it's kind of true and it's kind of not. Don't forget, I've seen a test screening, but I've seen an older test screening. It's also pretty obvious that there's not going to be any extensive reshoots for the Flash movie as reported, because they're just finishing off the score. In fact, the singer was standing there with Benjamin, who did the score for the Flash movie, revealing that she's been doing some very exciting things, and she revealed what she's been doing with the Flash movie composer at a later date. As most of you know, and if you don't know this, once the score is locked, the movie is locked. There's no going back, mainly. Now, we do know there were extensive reshoots for this movie, the Flash movie, in the summer with Ezra Miller, which means I don't think they're going to go back and do more extensive reshoots, which is very interesting. So yes, Henry Cavill is in the Flash movie. I'll let you into a little secret. Henry Cavill was always going to be in the Flash movie. So that's very interesting in itself, this revelation. I'll tell you something else. It wouldn't surprise me if he's in every upcoming DC Extended Universe. So why not do what Marvel and Ryan Reynolds did last night and announce it all? Henry Cavill's going to be in Black Adam, official. Because they don't want Superman overshadowing Black Adam and the JSA. And why should they? This is The Rock's movie. The Rock's worked very, very hard to make Black Adam a reality in the DC Extended Universe. So why wouldn't they want to keep that a secret and excite the fans even more when it actually happens? When you start revealing things like Hugh Jackman's going to be in Deadpool 3, and you get fans saying, oh, it's probably a road movie, and you get Sean Levi saying, yeah, I said I wanted to make this happen a few months ago. What actually happened, Sean? You actually knew this was going to happen. The reason it was revealed last night, because you didn't want anyone to focus too much on the Blade director quitting his role as the director of that very exciting upcoming movie. There's nothing to see here. This happens all the time. Feige has interfered with multiple MCU directors, and another one has quit because of it. So this tampers the excitement. But of course, there's another reason for releasing that Hugh Jackman information, because there's a lot of hype surrounding Black Adam, especially with these huge rumours of Henry Cavill returning as Superman in the movie. So Kevin Feige is a very passive-aggressive man. He doesn't like this hype for Black Adam. Black Adam intimidates him. He knows it's going to be successful. It should be successful, all being well. So he's tampered the hype. The problem with the Deadpool Wolverine hype, that movie is not being released till 2024. So that hype is going to die down very, very quickly. But the truth is, when you look deeper into Deadpool 3, you will see a film with many, many production woes. When you look deeper at the Blade movie, you'll see a film with production woes. And this goes for every MCU production. Right now, I can also exclusively tell you that Brie Larson's Captain Marvel will be killed off in the Marvels and replaced by the other two Marvels. That's an exclusive for you. I didn't mean to come on and tell you that, but I thought, hey, fuck it. With all the fake positivity for the MCU and me as a DC fan being told that my universe is shit just because they've got a huge cameo and they announced it to cover up all the issues going on behind the scenes in a multitude of movies, and that's the truth. As I said earlier, the DCEU has some very, very exciting cameos coming up. There's so many connections to the DC Extended Universe in Black Adam. We know Amelia Harcourt is going to cameo in the Black Adam movie. We know that Viola Davis's Amanda Waller is going to be in Black Adam. We've seen her in the trailers as well. So it's all very, very exciting if you're a DC fan. The only people who have made crazy decisions over the DC Extended Universe are people like Toby Emmerich, not the people who make the fucking movies. This is a really good franchise with huge potential, and now with David Zaslav and Alan Horn involved, this will become an excellent franchise, and this scares the shit out of Kevin Feige. So some very interesting things going on within the DC Extended Universe, and just because it's not being overhyped, it doesn't necessarily mean all of a sudden the DCEU is in trouble and Marvel is doing well and there's no issues. There are so many issues within the current MCU that you don't know about, like closing off Phase 4 earlier than originally planned because they made an absolute mess of it. Now, let's go to Humberto Gonzalez. Now, he recycled an article about the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. Now, it was revealed by the Hollywood Reporter a few weeks ago, or a week ago, whatever, that AT&T and Warner Media overstated the viewerships on HBO Max when they were negotiating the merger with Warner Brothers Discovery and Zaslav. Now, let me tell you something about Humberto Gonzalez and the Wrap. They're very upset about the shelving of Batgirl. So they're really after David Zaslav. They really don't like the bloke. So they recycled this to say that it's actually David Zaslav being sued and it was him being dishonest within these merger negotiations. No, it was Toby Emmerich, it was Warner Media, and it was AT&T. In fact, David Zaslav and Discovery are one of the injured parties here. But this is one of many issues left behind by Toby Emmerich, Warner Brothers Pictures, AT&T and Warner Media. Warner Brothers is now in very good hands. but they have a lot of messes from the previous leadership to fix. And this is what I said at the beginning of the video. They are underdogs. One more thing as well. Grace Randolph decided to use the Henry Cavill rumour about him being in a Flash movie as her own exclusive. It's not her exclusive. She's a very, very problematic person. And I'm going to read you something. So this has been translated by yours truly from a Portuguese DC account on Twitter. So let's see what they're saying. I found this very funny. Rumour. The dubious Grace Randolph. Yes, they call her the dubious Grace Randolph. It's true. She cannot be trusted. Claims that Henry Cavill will reprise the role of Superman in The Flash. Now, this is not her rumour. This is not her exclusive. I've seen this been floating about for the past 2 or 3, maybe even 4 days. And I think it's true. I think he's going to be in every DC Extended Universe movie. Remembering that this is a rumour and until it comes from a more reliable source. So now Grace Randolph is being deemed as unreliable. And I fucking love the fact that she's unreliable. Of course, she has me blocked on Twitter. So every time the usual suspects react to her so-called exclusives, and these naive idiots believe every word she says. So what she's done is she's echoed the Superman appearing in the Flash movie rumours. Apparently he appears in the 3rd act of the movie. But Grace, of course, tries to repattern this as a very exciting exclusive. She says that Sasha Calle's Supergirl is still going to be in the movie. She hints towards the Supergirl Superman movie as well. Doesn't say it in so many words. And she says that Michael Keaton's Batman is still appearing in the Flash movie and that Batfleck still goes missing in time at the end of that movie. Now, this is very problematic because we know that Batfleck is in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. That comes... Hang on a minute. When is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom released? Let's think about this because it's changed so many times. I'm confused. If I remember rightly, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will be released... Well, let me think about this because I'm fucking confused now. I think it's been released at Christmas of 2023. Right, so that's well after the Flash movie. The Flash movie at this moment in time is being released next June of 2023. So, the Aquaman sequel comes after the Flash movie. So how can Batfleck be lost in time if he's in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom? Well, actually, if she's telling the truth, and I don't know if she's telling the truth, by the way, because we're hearing so many conflicting stories. But let's just talk about this for a minute. It could be, just like at the end of the Flash movie, where Ben Affleck's Batman or Bruce Wayne appears on a screen to Barry Allen saying, "You have to find us," just like Barry said in BVS. It could be that Batfleck appears on another screen to Aquaman, to Jason Momoa's Arthur Curry in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and it's not actually a real flesh and blood cameo. Jason also hinted that we could have multiple Batmen in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, hinting that Keaton is still a thing in the DC Extended Universe. This kind of makes sense because Keaton's very popular, because all Zaslav wants to do right now is get that 50-60 billion write-off that debt sorted out. And the more popular, successful movies they make, the better. So they're not going to completely delete Michael Keaton. So they could be actually still going to this final crisis situation where Batfleck keeps on appearing. Could it be that Superman appears to Black Adam on a screen as well? You have to find us. Black Adam, you have to find us. Maybe that's the cameo in Black Adam. Maybe they're still going with this final crisis movie. Of course, what do the Joker and Grace Randolph have in common? They're both the most unreliable narrators. So we'll have to wait and see. But it could be that Superman doesn't have a flesh and blood cameo, and nor does Batfleck in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And he's screaming, "You've got to find us." And maybe this is what's going on. And this is part of the continuation of the arc that Walter Hamada started. So this is very interesting because the rumours about Superman say he's in the 3rd act. he could pop up in another post-credit scene or at the ending. Maybe he's standing on the screen with Batfleck and they're both saying, you've got to find us. So it could be we are still leading to a Final Crisis movie. We don't know. So I am a huge fan of Bryan Singer's X-Men. The casting of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is one of the most comic accurate pieces of fucking casting ever. He played him as a brute under Bryan Singer, and that's what he is in the comics. He's fucking brutal in the fucking comics. The good, Wolverine Logan comics. That was great casting. I love X-Men. I love X-Men too. But him appearing in Deadpool 3 is a sleight of hand. It's cheating. You people are very excited. It was very difficult being a DC fan on Twitter last night with all the Deadpool 3 Hugh Jackman Wolverine hype. It made me so fucking angry because they cheat. This is what Marvel do. They don't have any depth in their movies and it's just cheating. It's another cameo. It's another Easter egg. It's another piece of shit. I don't care if he's in the whole fucking movie. It's fucking cheating. The DC Extended Universe have really good films that focus on their lead characters and they don't need to release their very exciting cameos coming up. I believe David Zaslav is a good person. We know Alan Horn is a genius. They will sort this studio out and they will sort the DC Extended Universe out. But we are on the floor right now and this is going to be a long battle against Marvel and Disney, and it's not going to be plain sailing. But I love an underdog. I'm happy that DC and WB are the perennial underdogs again, and I'm here to fight with the thing that I love, DC, the DC live action universe, and I'm asking you to stand with me and defend the franchise that you love. Fuck Marvel, fuck Deadpool, and fuck that Wolverine Logan fucking appearance in Deadpool 3. This has been Movies TV Mad with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you again in the next video. Until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.